We are again. This is part 4 of the Big Pit adventure. Basically, we've got down here around about 8 o'clock. I've had a good walk round, and you know, there's a lot of people on this weekend. To be fair, an awful lot of people. So the wind really has been pushing down into the peg what I originally fished with Craig. And basically I've chose, you know, to revisit this peg. There's a good wind pushing down into it, and you know, I just think for tonight my options are just, you know, better to set up here and, you know, just get the rods out really. I've seen 2 fish. I did walk round in the light. I roughly got down here about 7 o'clock, and by the time I've had a good look round and, you know, had a good few climbs of the trees and, you know, had a good mooch, you know, it was getting dark, so I've set up here. I've put 2 rods out on the spots when I first fished, when I had that, when I had the first fish on in part 1. Then basically I'm fishing 2 rods at range, roughly about 90 yards out. Now I've done that, the reason why I've done that is because there is a lot of pressure over this side of the lake, and I have noticed a lot of people are fishing close in, including myself. So I've got the 4 rods out there, 2 rods at range. You know, just gives me that little bit of edge, you know, to keep them 2 out the way out there. I've actually spotted some bait out, and I've put quite a bit of bait out today. You know, I've put roughly 2 kilo on the 4 rods. I've also put some emp out, some particle, and I just thought you know, do it a bit different this weekend and try a bit of hemp. And you know, I've probably spotted a good 4 kilo of hemp out there onto a nice plateau. What I found in part 1 of the Big Pit adventure, I found that we did put rods on the plateau in part 1, but we didn't have much luck. But tonight, yep, you know, it's just about getting out there. Now Craig's not long just come down, and he's in one of the other bays round the other side, and he's going to fish there tonight, and I'll be up bright and early in the morning to basically have a look and see if it's worth a move around the lake. I'm fishing really light this weekend, little bag, obviously my bed chair, my house, and obviously the 4 rods, and fishing nice and light. We're going to move round. Obviously if I have one tonight, which hopefully I do, this wind is really pushing, you know, into this bay, so we should be fine. So there you go. And it's now 4 in the morning, and to be quite honest with you, most people are still asleep on the lake. Like I says, I'm going to get up and have a mooch out. The left hand rod just reset from last night. There's a lot of drifting weed on that rod, so obviously that's pulled the line in. So you know, I wasn't very confident on that one, so I've just reset that, and I'm just gonna get the brew on there and get my chair out and sit there for at least a couple of hours, just looking at the lake and obviously trying to find where the spots are where the fish are feeding, or even, you know, just showing. There has been a lot of activity out in my swim, you know, just before dark and after dark last night. A lot of fish showing, but very, you know, a short distance right under the rod tips really. And obviously I put 2 out at distance and 2 in at the edge, so I think I'm going to bring one of the distance rods in and put it to the right hand side of me, and get that on about little bait spot. What I did bait up last night, but obviously didn't fish it. I tend to try and keep a baited spot going, but don't fish it on it really all weekend until, you know, I see fish close in. So I always keep a lot of my opportunities open really, in the way of, you know, I always keep little baiting spots in my swim, but like, you know, even if I just like bait them through the weekend, I'm here. If I stay on the same swim, then fish them the last couple of hours. You know, it's worked really well for me in the past. That has, to just keep my opportunities open, really. And I have had a lot of my fish doing that. So I'm going to finish getting this brew on, then definitely going to be sitting here for the next 2 hours and just seeing what's out there and seeing if I can see any signs of any fish in different areas. As soon as it becomes a bit lighter, round about 9, I'm going to be up the trees and I'm going to be trying to hunt them down. Not sure if Craig's had anything last night. Like I say, he's round the other side. I'm going to be having a chat to him a bit later on and see if he's up for the move, or obviously up for just staying in the same spots and just sticking it out. But there you go. That's that was the first night anyway. Another night to go. So we'll see how today goes. Well, there we have it. We've had one last night, a small 13 pound mirror. I slipped that back, then I stayed up most of the night really. I slept on top of the rods, and basically this area of the lake ain't got any quieter. So it's time to get the gear together and move up the lake, and I'm going to fish the bar peg. So I'm going to pack up now and get myself around there. And Craig is doing the same thing as he fished in the bay last night, and he's moving right up too, so we'll catch up with him shortly. Back on the bar peg where I've previously fished in the parts of this filming, and basically there was a guy in here today, and he must have gone around about 12:30. So I've dropped in here. I ain't got no rods out today at all. I've got all the bait set, ready to go, and you know, I've just let the peg rest a little bit, so there's been no lighting for at least 6 hours now. And to be quite honest with you, that's paid off in the past for me. Resting pegs and just basically just letting everything settle down. Now you know it's time to put them out there. I've got 4 rods. I'm going to put 2 rods to the left side of me, just over a weed bed, and I'm going to put 2 rods back on the bar where I was previously fishing. So I'm going to get them all out there, and funny enough, I've just had a shout off one of the lads up the bank, and he's just had a nice 20 pound original fish. You know, fair play to him, Nick. You know, deserved that after, you know, he ain't been very successful on here this year, but obviously he's been putting the time and effort into, that's what counts really. And you know, I'm quite happy for him, you know, to have had that fish. Really, you know, if there was anyone on here this weekend what I wanted to catch, you know, it's that bloke. He, you know, he puts a lot of time in. You know, he's always looking, and you know, to be quite honest with you, he probably looks more than most of us. He's, you know, he's up early looking, and you know, always clued up about the place. And sometimes it's just one of them where I've had it before. I put a lot of effort in down there, and someone settled beside me and had take after take. And you know, it's one of them waters where it's hard water, and sometimes people come down and they're having takes and they don't really appreciate, you know, the takes what they're having at the time. So fair play to him, and that's a nice fish that was. So here we are. We're going to get the rods out, and you know, try and get them out on the spots what I want to get them out. I'm going to walk them out again in my waders and get them right over that bar. And you know, I've seen a few fish sat there for a few hours just in the chair, just visual checks of the water. But I just didn't want to put no lines in after someone else fishing here last night, and obviously to midday, you know, it's best for me to drop in here, leave the rods out, let the water settle, and now it's time to get some bait out and just get a lot of bait out and let's see what happens. So here we go. We'll leave it of it. This is how I'm fishing this weekend. I've got half of one of the baits on, which are the ultralight pop-ups. These come in various colours and various flavours. So there we have it. All we've got is it popping up just like that. Over that we've got the crab bait, spicy crab, and we've got the aqua squid. We've also got a new range of coloured pellets which are due out maybe in the next three to 4 weeks, and basically these are just normal pellets, not hot, there ain't much oil in these, so these are very good for winter fishing, and they're just coloured to the same consistency as the pop-ups. Now the pop-ups, I'm fishing a crab bait, spicy crab, with the ultralight pop-up, and that's got the same attractors as the crabbing. Also, it's got basically the same ingredients as the crab as well, so it sort of matches the bait and gives off the same signals as what the crab does. So there we have it. We've got that. We've got that on 2 rods. Like I say, they just popped up. Another one. We've got a full ultralight popper, and we've got the aqua squid on. Now, the aqua squid obviously is the same as the ultralight. That's been treated the same as that bait. So basically what we've got here is a combination of colours, same attractors to match in the same bait, and all the rods are going to be fished over the crab and the aqua squid in the pellet. I'll just bring that a little bit closer so you can probably see it a bit more, but there you have it. We've got the crab bait and we've got the pellets. Now the pellets are, like I say, they're in all the colours of the ultralight pop-ups, and that's going to be one of the ranges which are out in the next few weeks, and they'll be on the website, which is www.signalbaits.co.uk. Also we're going to put it on www.signalbaits.com, and that .com will be the main one. So if you just type it in Google, www.signalbaits.com, and you'll find the full range of ultralight pop-ups, crab bait, the aqua squid, the bio plum, and the coconut bait, the active coconut, and there you go. So we're going to get them out there now and let's see what happens. Well, finally I've caught up with you, Craig, after the mad epic weekend of getting down here late and obviously moving about. So obviously I ain't really spoke to you that much because we've been fishing very close. We've split up this weekend and basically done our own little thing, obviously moving about the lake. So what's been going on then, mate?
Not very much, to be honest with you. Got down here late Friday night, a bit about half past 9 it was, and then I set up on the far bank over there. Didn't get my rods in until about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I woke up. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I thought, I'm not really feeling confident where I was, because it was somewhere I just dropped in at spare of the moment. Yeah. So we had a bit of a look round, didn't we?
Yeah, we had
a bit of a chat with some of the other guys on here, So we both of us decided to
Up sticks.
relocate ourselves. I came down here where we are now. Didn't really see anything to move on,
No,
but
not
it was,
really.
I wasn't sitting around not feeling happy where I was.
I think there's a lot of pressure down there as well, mate.
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of pressure down here for the last few weeks, to be honest with you. I think, especially over this weekend, there's 3 bibbies have been pitched up in one peg, haven't they?
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's been a lot.
Been quite a lot of activity down here, a lot of lines in the water. So yeah, it's been quite pressured. Came down here, decided that I'll fish a little spot that was about 70-80 yards out on a plateau, and just thought, but nothing ventured, nothing gained really,
I'm Devin, and I fish a lot of lakes around where I live, and this is one of the furthest lakes I go.
So this is one of the furthest lakes he travels to. How old are you, mate?
I'm 12.
So he's 12 years of age, very, like I say, keen carper, and really, just talking for him a little bit, I don't think a day goes by without him probably going fishing, or basically thinking about fishing, or obviously thinking how he can do better in his fishing fishing trips, and also the future of him really. So what lakes how did you get into carp fishing, mate? Let's start from right back, as far as you can remember when you first picked that rod up.
I started at course fishing first.
So you started like float fishing, feeder fishing.
Method feeder.
So we was fishing on the method, and obviously is that when you learnt all your casting out and stuff like that?
I made my way up to the bigger fish.
So basically, how long did you do that for then?
I did float fishing on the big pit here, and didn't really catch much because it's hard. And
So getting a bigger picture of obviously your background, you actually started float fishing, then obviously you've come onto the big pit with your dad, I take it, and you carried on your float fishing.
No, I've gone on to carp fishing.
So basically, was this your first carp water what you ever fished, or did you fish for carp on the method?
I fished for carp on all the different tactics, in all the different lakes around where I live.
So basically he stayed local, fishing. And what's the addiction then, mate? Explain the addiction, what you've got, what makes you come back to sitting here for 48 hours on a hard lake like this, and it's a decent sized pit with hard fishing. What's your passion for it? Explain that, the love for it basically.
It's just very quiet. You shouldn't just to get outside, and when you some anglers that came here that are grown up haven't caught, and they've given up with the lake, and are stuck at it.
So it's all about trial and error, you're saying. So basically you come down, you try things, you try tactics, you put bait in, and obviously
new things.
You find new things. So you're learning a lot every time. And do you find, obviously you've been onto easy lakes as you've just said, so what do you find, harder lakes better, easy lakes better?
I find the hard ones better because you've perhaps got more of a surprise, and I need to fish that haven't got really horrible mouths.
Yeah, so basically he's saying, you're basically saying about the natural fish what have obviously coming from spawn, or from obviously
natural.
Just proper natural lakes, not man-made. So he's basically saying he loves the the natural way of fishing. To be fair, mate, you sound a bit like myself when I was your age, going back to fishing the Park Lakes, Black Root in the West Midlands, and obviously that was my first carp water, and I can always remember the first take, mate. You know, when you get that bend in your arm, and you're all just like